Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Stepsbasic, and welcome back to my community show. That's a weird one. I don't know. I'm okay with it. Anyway, so first of all, announcements. I don't really have any announcements for today. In case you missed it, I restarted my Biography of a Man series, this time in Subnautica with Gary, and I have some big plans for that. Hopefully I can get it up and rolling really well. I don't want to... That's my Biography of a Man story book now. Hopefully I'll be able to make something entertaining and fun. It's not going to be as funny, like directly intentionally funny, as the original Biography of a Man was, but hopefully this one will be pretty entertaining at the very least. Apart from that, Days Gone is going well. I love it, and I can't wait to beat it. Found out it's about 40 hours long, and what I've been doing is an hour and a half video, so there's going to be quite a few more episodes of that until we're done with it. Might be working towards a different game soon. I tried live streaming this week and didn't work. So I think I'm going to stick live streaming to only PC games from now on. But I do want to finish Edith Finch. I might just play that one through one day, just all on my own, and upload that as a full episode. Because that'll be fun, and it was a good episode, or a good game. From what I understand, I haven't beat it yet. Yeah, but that's all the announcements for today. So let's get on with the topic of today, which is the important part, and it is presenting to camera. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, but it's that basic. What does this really have to do with gaming or stuff? But in a way, this does tangentially relate to YouTube and a career in creative, videos. I do have to say, as far as like how YouTube works and other small independent video hosting sites, I like it better than a more professional setting, because you don't have to worry about being perfect. That's one of the hardest things to remember, is you don't have to be perfect, because the whole element of YouTube and creating videos on a platform like this is that you're more personable. Instead of standing up in front of a big crowd and talking to everybody, you are literally sitting down one-on-one with one of your viewers, or in this case, one of your viewers at a time, and discussing with them whatever topic you want to talk about, which in a way makes it a whole lot easier because it becomes more conversational rather than presentational. And that part is what I like best about this whole, dynamic between you and me here. We're sitting here, we're just having a conversation, and that's the best part about it. One second, let me correct this. There are a number of various different camera tricks and whatnot. A lot of people they swear by the light, keep yourself in light so that your viewers can see you. And that part is kind of important, but at the same time, none of my videos have a forward-facing light. And part of that is because of my glasses. If you look here, you can see my monitor. You can see all the things on my monitor. And the same happens with any white light. You will not be able to see my eyes. And the eyes are kind of important, at least to me. And that's another reason why I wear my hat, because without the hat, we still get more of the glare. Put the hat back down, less glare. Now I'm up here looking like a freaking gym teacher. My coach. Hey, coach, how you doing? I'm not a coach. I'm a writer, darn it. With any presentation, you got to remember a lot of things. What you're talking about, how you want to get through your topic, how you want to go from the beginning to the end. It helps to have a script, but I mostly go without a script, because it feels more genuine to me to not have a script. Now, of course, some people cannot do that, and I understand completely, because I used to be that way. I could not do it without a script, and it really sucked, because then I would be... If I tried to talk without a script, I would just be... and it didn't work out very well. And if you look back at my earliest videos on my main channel, some of the Kickstarter videos from the beginning, you will see what I mean about bad. That's actually the invention of Subtitle Guy, which, you know, led to help to break the mold. Another thing that I really like about presenting to camera for YouTube especially is that you can edit. It's not the same as a presentation where you're standing up in front of a bunch of people, a big crowd. You can fix all of your mistakes. I generally don't, because, like I said, I go for the genuine aspect. But there are a couple of things that I do cut out, especially stutters, which is a problem I have. One time I actually went through one of my videos and cut out every single and yeah, and you know. And by the end of it, I had something like 40 of them. And I actually made a compilation of the ums and the uhs, and it was fun. I have since kind of just let myself go. I know they're verbal tics, and they're not entirely controllable, and honestly, I don't notice when I'm doing them, which is kind of a problem. You can cut them out if you want, but it leads to a lot of jump cuts, and jump cuts can be disorienting, and if poorly executed, can actually mess up the quality of the video from the audio, where you might get half a word, or you miss the first letter of a word, so that becomes hat and things get weird. And I noticed that a lot in my especially in my Days Gone videos. I'll jump in back into the video after a long cut of me just driving my bike, and I'll come back in, and because of the way my editing software works, it's kind of dumb. I end up with when I make the cut, it'll skip back a frame or a couple frames forward, and that messes things up. Shut up, phone. Now, there are tips and tricks and whatnot to know when cutting. If you mess up in the middle of a sentence, say you start saying, if you mess up in the middle of a sentence, but then you say, if you mess up in the middle, stop, restart the sentence, and go from there. Because if you say, if you mess up in the middle of the sentence, but then you mess up the middle of that sentence, but you got the first part right, and then you re-say the sentence and then try to splice them together, then you end up with tonal shifts, and tonal shifts are disorienting and, in my opinion, very annoying. If you mess up in the middle of the sentence, and it can lead to some funny moments. You know, I actually had on my main channel, I have the Botham, which is my bloopers, outtakes, and funny moments. And when I first started that, a lot of my cut moments were flubs in the middle of sentences, where I ended up just blah, 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 and making funny noises. And because that's just how I roll with it. And it also helps me to pinpoint mess ups. I cough a lot in my videos. Allergy season is upon us, and because of that, I end up with a lot of coughs. Like I said, I don't sneeze so much, which is good because sneezes hurt, but the coughs are annoying because when you're going through your thing, and then all of a sudden your cough blows out your ear, you gotta cut those. And a lot of my coughs end up getting cut. Sometimes I don't. When it comes to the video game part, when I'm presenting, when it comes to the video games, when I'm making the video game videos, I don't cut out any coughs that happen within the story parts, because that will interrupt the story, and I don't want to do that. Unfortunately, coughs are coughs, and I can't really control them so much. Otherwise, I end up going, and that just doesn't look pretty. Bottom line, when it comes to it, is presenting to camera is a lot easier than a lot of people think. You don't have to be perfect because you can edit. You don't have to know everything that you want to say, but it does help to have a script and or in my case, an outline sometimes, to keep yourself from rambling and going off on tangents. It's more the hardest part about presenting to camera is getting out of your own way. Because, like I said, the way I do it especially is conversational. You're talking to somebody. You're not presenting so much as you are having a conversation. If you can talk to your friend about something you like or something you're passionate about or something you know about, then you can talk to a camera about it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And that's something I had to learn as well. And that's something a lot of people have to learn. The big thing that sets YouTube and other small creative platforms, video hosting sites and whatnot, apart from television shows and big budget talk shows is that we are human. We're not actors. We're not big names. We are humans. We are here having a conversation, doing something that literally any of us can do. We may not be successful at it all the time, but we can always talk. And that's the best part about presenting the camera. Very easy. Not at all a problem. You guys got this. If you're going to do what I do, or if you want to do something similar, take some of these words to heart. You know what? Let me talk about how I present the camera. You know what? Nuts to the whole thing. We're doing it live. Presenting the camera, the way I do it is easy. Now, I want myself to come across more professional, but still personable. So there's a little fine balance there. I'm not going to come out here, always dressed up like your coach. I'm going to mostly come out here dressed the way I usually dress. I'm going to wear pants. Some people don't, and that's fine. But, in my opinion, I feel like you are in the room with me. So you and I are having this conversation, and I want it to be that way. And I'm not going to sit there in my PJs or my boxers talking to you, because that's just not how I roll. So that in its own aspect is a professional level of what I take into a conversation like this. Excuse me. So that's how I present myself. I want myself to be not so much an authority, but definitely somebody that you feel like you can talk to. I'm not always right, and I don't expect you guys to believe that I'm always right. I don't even believe that I'm always right. I believe that I talk what I know. What I know is not always correct, but what I know is what I know, and that's all I can present. Sometimes I'll do some research, but for the most part, like I said, I fly by the seat of my pants when it comes to these videos. Because of my coughs and whatnot, I have to stop before I cough and then stop after I cough. That completely isolates the cough in the editing process, and that's helpful. My stutters are a bit different because they come up in ways that I don't expect them to. So I can't really stop before it, and I usually end up with to calm my brain a little bit. And then I sit down. Now I'm here in front of you guys, ready to talk. I don't like going into a video without an idea of at least what I want to talk about. I have done it a couple of times in the past, and I hated it. But I will always at least have somewhat of an idea of what I want to talk about. One time I remember I sat down, I gave my announcements, and then I'm like, for a good 3 minutes, I'm like, I don't know what to talk about. I have no idea what I want to talk about. And I sat there just rambling for a few minutes, and I'm like, okay, I know what I want to talk about. Figured out what I wanted to talk about. That was 3 minutes of wasted time that I could have been talking. And I failed you. I failed you so hard. But I'm up here now. And that's what I like. And for the most part, actually, funny enough, I usually have my picture up here, which is my OBS, which I record with. And I will often look at myself when I'm talking. But as you can see, that's a problem, because now all of a sudden I'm very blue and I have a reflection of myself in my glasses. So I try not to. I'm less blue this way. Sometimes, though, I can't stop myself from looking. It's really hard. Not that I find myself fancy or pretty or anything, but it's just that I want to make sure that everything's still copacetic. Make sure I'm still within the middle third, or depending on how things go, we could do the zooms and whatnot. And I often get confused because I will raise my hand to signify the door, and I will be on the wrong side because the door is on this side. That's why I don't like to follow the camera guide. Yeah. So pretty much just like the advice that anyone gives you for, like going on your first date or talking to a friend, Just be yourself. We're not paid to be Maury Povich. We're not paid to be freaking the most eloquent speaker you could think of, the most eloquent news pundit you can think of. We're paid to be us. That's what people watch YouTube for the human approach. And as such, that's what you want to be. You want to be you, just like I want to be me. You be you, I be me. My dog bees himself. Come here, puppy. Yeah. Oh, you're so heavy. Why are you so heavy? Oh, it's a puppy. Say hi. Whoa. He's so cute. I love him so much. He's such an old fart. I don't know how much longer he's got in this world. I want you guys to say hello to my little chompy doos. He's my little buddy. He's an old boy. He's up to 16 now. But anyway, that's all I've got for you for today. Hopefully you guys learned a little something, and if you did, and if you enjoyed this video, please go and poke that like button for me. If you'd like to see more from me, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and of course, as always, you're more than welcome to leave a comment down in the comment section down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Oh, and I can if I can, you know all that jazz, and tune in next time for another topic at another time. And until then, good night.